against our target network. So we will see how hackers actually execute the denial of service attack or de-authentication attack. So a client or like a station or a device that is connected to that network won't be able to reach the internet, even if they are connected, even if they know the password, even if they own the router. Okay, we're going to use something called Ep3 in order to do this. And again, this is a wireless penetration test tool. So we have used many of the similar tools in the previous lectures, but we're going to use the deauth module. So this will de-authenticate the user or the station from the network, and they won't be able to connect to the internet. So we have some parameters like -a over here. So it stands for the AP or the access point MAC address. So it's basically the BSS ID that we have seen. And also we need an interface in the monitor mode. So as you can see, we already have that information and we already have that setup, right? In the previous lecture, we have seen them all. And we can actually use this against a specific target or for the whole network as well, but it will be much more effective if we use this against a specific target. So I will show you what I mean in a minute. So let me go to my Kali Linux and let me just find this. Here you go. Yeah, here you go. So you need to have this information available. So if you haven't watched the previous lecture, make sure you watch it because we will need that information. And in fact, I'm going to open another terminal over here so you can see what's going on side by side. So I believe we are okay with this. So I'm going to close this down and I'm going to launch the aerodump ng against this BSS ID, which is my target network on the Academy Club. And I'm not even going to write this down. Okay. I'm not going to use --write parameter because we don't need it, but we need to see the stations and the BSS IDs over here in order to launch the attack against this network. So this is how it goes. You will need to use AirPlay-ng, as I said before, and you need to make sure that your wireless network wireless adapter is in the monitor mode, okay? And as you can see in the AirPlay-ng, we have a lot of things that we can use, but we are going to use --deauth in this case. So this stands for the de-authentication module. And again, it actually takes in some parameters. So first of all, you need to specify the packets that you need to send. For example, if you just specify something low, like 5 or 1 or 10, it will send only 5 or 10 packets. So it will de-authenticate the user, but it will do it for a very brief of second. So they will lose the internet connection and they will gain the internet connection after a second, and it won't do good for you, but we will use this in the upcoming lectures in the following section. But this time, I'm just going to go for something big like 10,000. So the target will lose the internet connection and they won't be able to connect to the internet for a while. Okay, and then later on, I'm going to just specify -a in order to write the access point, the router's MAC address. So I'm going to copy this and paste it. Okay, and here you go. You can just specify the interface name right now and just actually attack against all the stations, all the devices that is been connected to this network right now. Okay, let's try that. You can just try this, okay, and see if you can send the de-authentication. It's actually working, but it's not very effective to launch a de-authentication or DOS attack against the whole network. So maybe you can try right now from your phone or from your other computer to see that if you can actually connect to the internet using this home network right now. But I'm going to stop this. I'm going to show you like how to launch this against a specific client, and all you got to do is just say -c. So this stands for the client or the device that has been connected to that router before, and we can see that over here. Okay, there's no way to know which MAC stands for phone, which MAC stands for computers. So I'm just gonna go for a random thing over here. Okay. In real life, maybe you can use something called nmap if you're going to see how it works in the upcoming lectures, but there's no guarantee to exactly find out what kind of device uses what kind of MAC address at this point. So it's kind of a blind eye thingy going on over here. So maybe you don't know which client you should attack to, but in this case, you can take your chance and try them one by one, or you can just attack to the whole network. So in this case, I'm just going to go for this MAC, and I believe this belongs to my host computer, so it will be very easy for me to test it. And as you can see, it started. So even though it still shows up on the list, it goes and comes for some reason, and there are a lot of frames going on over here because of the de-authentication packets, I believe. Right now, I can try and find out if it worked or didn't. So I'm going to go to my host machine over here, okay? I'm going to try and go to google.com. And as you can see, I cannot go to google.com. Even it seems that I'm connected. Let me try to connect to the Academy Club. As you can see, I cannot even connect to the Academy Club. So it's supposed to happen because I'm de-authenticating myself every minute over here with a very large number of packets. So I'm just going to give my password over here. And as you can see, I cannot connect to the internet. You can try this on your own. You can try to de-authenticate the people in your own home network, like your relatives or your wife or husband. So you can try to see if it really works. And in my case, it actually works, as you can see. But you can try to launch this attack for the whole network as well. It may not be as effective as this one, but in many cases, you can ask for, I don't know which MAC belongs to what, so what to do. Maybe you can launch this against the whole network and see if it works or not. In order to stop this, you can just hit Ctrl+C or close down the terminal, and after a minute or so, your client or your the computer will be able to actually connect to the internet one more time. So let's try if I can actually connect to the internet right now using the Academy Club. So I'm going to connect to the Academy Club, and here we go. Now I can go into the internet. As you can see, the de-authentication attack has been ended because we have closed it down. So if you use much more larger packets, like more than 10,000, like 100,000 maybe, it may cause the router to reset itself, okay, shut it down and open it again. So it may actually block you for doing that, like for a minute. You can continue later on. There is no real way to stop a hacker from doing this attack, okay? There are a lot of protection mechanisms in the modern routers, but I'm using a very modern router right now, and every possible defense mechanisms are on right now, and as you can see, it still works. Anyway, we actually completed